Andrew here in Fantasy Aid to give you the daily Fantasy Aid show. Now this is going to be a pretty quick sum up here because I'm only playing the afternoon games for tomorrow. That's the 4:05 games. And basically, besides pitchers, obviously, there's only one game I'm looking at and you'll see what that is coming up. So for pitchers, there's not a ton of choices here. There's three you basically have, and none of them are cheap. DeGrom going up against the Brew Crew. He'd be the obvious choice if the strikeouts have been there, which they haven't. Drew Smyly is the cheapest pitcher for what you should go with. 9,300, playing a riskier team in Detroit. But the K should be there. Tanaka has a nice matchup against the A's, but he's 9,900. He's also an option if you don't trust DeGrom. There's just no cheap pitchers. If you want to be like the risky, Sean Manaea and his strikeout potential, but just don't go for a cheap pitcher. They're all junk. Now we'll see right away the two games. Brian McCann has good matchup against Manaea if you want to go him, but Francisco Cervelli if you're going for the Pirate stack against Tyler Chatwood. And Dustin Garneau, don't go Dustin Garneau. He's a cheap Rocky, but definitely use that money on other Rockies because they have killed Nice and they have killed lefties. Stack as many Rockies as you can fit in there. I made sure to get Arenado in every lineup. You'll see why in his numbers soon. David Ortiz, 4,200. He's 2 for 2 with a home run off Bauer. Red Sox are kind of they're a good matchup against Bauer, but most of their players are pretty expensive too. John Jaso is 3 for 5 off Chatwood. Pirates are the cheaper stack than the Rockies, except for when it comes to outfield. And then Mark Reynolds is 10 for 18, 2 home runs and a 1,563 OPS against Jonathan Nice. Of course, then we go to second baseman. You got Ian Kinsler, who's 4 for 10 off Smyly. That's one of the only hitters that actually has pretty good numbers against Smyly, so I wouldn't worry too much about Smyly, but don't spend that much on Kinsler. You can get Gene Segura, who's 7 for 21 off Leak. D-backs are also a good stack, but again, I'm looking at that Colorado game. DJ LeMahieu is only 3,200, and he's 5 for 12 off Nice. Then, of course, Nolan Arenado is batting .273 with 11 at-bats and 1 home run against Nice, but he's batting .324 with 5 home runs and 37 at-bats against lefties this year. Jake Lamb is 3 for 3 off Leak and 3,400 if you didn't want to go expensive, and Kang if you want the other side of the Pirates Rockies stack. Trevor Story is 1 for 2 off Nice, but he's batting .310 against lefties with 5 home runs and 42 at-bats. Aledmys Diaz has been super productive for DFS ever since moving to the second spot in the lineup, and he's still pretty cheap. And then Jordy Mercer if you want to go cheaper on shortstop, but still get that stack. Outfield, basically got 2 teams for you. Any Pirate or any Rockies. And the Rockies are actually cheaper. Ryan Rayburn is 3 for 5 off Nice with a 1,914 OPS. He kills lefties and he's only 2,500. No matter what outfielders you have in there, Rayburn needs to be one of them, definitely. Cargo is pretty cheap at 2,800. He's 5 for 19 off Nice. Matt Joyce is 3,100 and he's 3 for 5 off Chatwood. Obviously, Polanco, McCutcheon, those are good choices too. Obviously more expensive. Same goes for Blackman. So, there's no reason to go for a cheap pitcher. You got pretty decent cheap hitting tonight. So here are my 2 lineups I'm running out. Smyly in one and DeGrom in another. Although I really highly considered putting Tanaka in one. I might make the change to Tanaka from DeGrom. It's probably something I'm gonna think about up until game time. But first lineup: Smyly, Cervelli, Matt Adams because I needed a cheap first baseman. Because I got Arenado and Story in the same lineup here. Gene Segura, second baseman, and Rayburn, Gonzalez, Joyce. The other one is DeGrom, Cervelli, Chaso, Segura, Arenado, Mercer, Gonzalez, Rayburn, and Joyce. So that's what I've got for going for today. Remember, Rockies, Rockies, Rockies. Hope you do well out there. Hope the Rockies do well out there, and see you next time.